Now today we will start with redox reaction. Under redox reaction there are two parts, oxidation and reduction. So what is oxidation? Oxidation means gaining of oxygen or removal of hydrogen. This is an example of this is the definition of oxidation. This is an definition of oxidation. Now what is reduction? Reduction is gaining of hydrogen or removal of oxygen. This is the example of this is the definition of reduction. So once again, gaining of oxygen or removal of hydrogen is oxidation, gaining of hydrogen or removal of oxygen is reduction. Now what will be the example of these two? I will give you one I will tell you one example and explain both of the reaction, oxidation reaction and redox reaction. I will explain with one example. See, copper oxide plus H2O gives copper and hydrogen gives copper and H2. So if you look at the here, reduced means reduction is done and oxidation is done. Addition of gaining oxygen, oxidation, losing, gaining hydrogen or losing oxygen, or removal of oxygen, reduction. Example given, very clear, it is very clear. Now we were talking about, now what is the redox reaction? When oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. In the reaction. This is the definition of redox reaction. When oxidation and reduction takes place simultaneously. In same reaction, oxidation is also taking place and reduction is also taking place. That I have shown just now. Cu O plus H2 will give you Cu plus H2O. Reduction and oxidation. Done. Taking place simultaneously in the one reaction. So this is redox reaction. Now we will move on to next topic, that is oxidizing agent and reducing agent. Oxidizing agent. Now what is an oxidizing agent? Who oxidizes other but itself gets reduced. oxidizes other but itself gets reduced. That is oxidizing agent. Suppose in Cu plus H2O, it will give you CuO plus H2 will give you Cu plus H2. Now here this is reduction. Sorry. One minute, students. 1 minute. That means CuO plus H2 will give you Cu plus H2. Here this is reduction, but this is an oxidizing agent. Because it gives oxygen to this compound or element and itself gets reduced. So this is an oxidizing agent. And now what is an reducing agent? That means here oxidation is done, but this is an reducing agent. Why? Because it reduces other but itself gets oxidized. Reduces other but itself gets oxidized. Reduces other but itself gets oxidized. Here it was H2 but now it is H2O. Reduces other but itself gets oxidized. So this is oxidation and reduction also done, and oxidizing agent. If reduction is done, then it is an oxidizing agent, always remember, and if oxidation is done, then it is always an reducing agent. Finished. Now we will go to the next, that is electronic concept of oxidation and reduction. Electronic concept. That means oxidation is loss of electrons and reduction is gain of electrons. This you will learn in class 11, so mug up or remember up to this electronic concept. Okay, now moving on to the next two reactions, that is exothermic and endothermic. Now what is an exothermic reaction? Exo means release of heat. Exothermic reaction. Example is CaO plus H2O gives CaOH whole 2 slaked lime plus heat. Heat is released. Exothermic. Endothermic, endo means absorption of heat. N2 plus O2 gives 2NO minus heat. Minus heat means heat is absorbed and here heat is released. So this is an example done. Exothermic and endothermic. Exothermic and endothermic done. Now we will move on to corrosion. Corrosion. Corrosion is when metals react with other gases and acids is called corrosion, because after corrosion there is a brown color substance on metals is called rust. Corrosion also done. These are very easy topics, so you can remember or you can understand it very clearly. Now moving on to the next one, that is rancidity. Rancidity means, what is rancidity? Rancidity means when food items are exposed for a long time, they get a bad smell, and this phenomena is called only rancidity. When food items are exposed for a long time in air, they get a bad smell, that is called rancidity. Now in rancidity, what are the methods to prevent rancidity? Methods to prevent rancidity. Number 1, by adding antioxidants. Only remember the methods. Number 2, by keeping food items at low temperature. Number 3 is vacuum packing. Means you see in a packet of Lay's, the Lay's packet is always what I can say, is always blown, means always is in a huge shape. Why? Because air is flushed in it. And number 4 is replacing air by nitrogen. Otherwise nitrogen is flushed instead of air. Replacing air by nitrogen. These are the 4 methods to prevent rancidity. First one, by adding antioxidants. Second one, by keeping food items at low temperature. Vacuum packing. And replacing air by nitrogen, means they flush nitrogen gas in it. So that's it, students. Hope you like this video. If you have any doubt in any of the lines, then please let me know in the comment section, and subscribe my channel please, and like, share, comment. Thank you.